Hello, everyone. Welcome to What's Your Hair Story, a digital media series exploring the hair stories of Black women. Today, I'm here with Tabitha, who is a dear friend, a social worker, a doctoral candidate, and a drama therapist. So, welcome, Tabitha.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. You already spoke about all my little things going on, but yes, I am a clinical social worker. I work in a middle school. I'm also, yes, a doctoral student at NYU, collaborating drama therapy and like school social work. And what does that look like? So watch out for that.
Mhm,
And I'm an alternative track drama therapy student, which means that I am taking courses on my own, but it mirrors a graduate drama therapy program. So
mhm,
by the end, I will have my credentials just like another drama therapist. So I'm
mhm.
very excited.
Yes, yes. I'm glad to have you on here. It's been a while. I know the last time we kind of met up in person was when we were at the drama therapy conference last year, which was really fun because you were able to come to my workshop,
Yeah.
What's Your Hair Story, which was one of the first times that I had actually presented it. So it was really cool to have you there. So thanks for coming here and thanks for being here. So I want to dive into just kind of like speaking about your hair story a bit, and maybe walking us through the journey of like your relationship with your hair. How did that look
Yeah.
like, as when you were younger versus how does it look like now? And what does that journey entail?
Yeah. So I think, not I think my hair journey, I would split into three parts. Kind of like if anybody thinks about like your phase of life, like you have
Mhm.
your childhood, the middle childhood, and then young adult to adult.
Yeah.
Young childhood was really like, if bobos or bubbles, like it was really using those things, those items in your hair. And it was like so cute. And then like middle school was like really trying to figure it out on my own. Like you are a little older, you can do your own hair. So it was buns, ponytails to the best of my abilities, thinking it was super cute.
Mhm.
Um, and then as I got to high school, I started to learn how to braid and cornrow. So like some leave out styles,
Mhm.
also playing with like my natural hair
Mhm.
and leaving it curly. But at that time of high school, and I think that's when like hair started to change for me. Because
Mhm.
younger me, braids, it was braid, whether it was cornrows, whether it was uh plait twist. I was like very younger age. But as I got to like end of middle school, early high school, I had that autonomy to kind of like branch out and kind of do what I want.
Mhm.
So learning how to braid my own hair, or at least give me braids to do a braid out. They were not the cutest braids. They were like very overnight braids, so ugly.
Mhm.
And then trying to go curly, but I had so much hair and
Mhm.
really didn't know how to like manage it or like what products to use. So I was using things like Garnier.
Mhm.
So in that time, I felt like, oh, this is great, but it wasn't giving me like the defined curls I have today. It wasn't that. It was, I was like, this kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So then we went into like straightening my hair, and that became a thing. Like you go to the Dominican salon, like everybody in high school went to the Dominican salon, and it wasn't like, yeah, I went to the one that was close to me. I went one that my friends went to. So there wasn't consistency in like where I went and which Dominican or which beautician in the salon did my hair, right? Like you just went to who's available.
Yeah.
And then it was like, how straight can I get my hair? So applying so much heat to my hair from washing to, I learned that you can go and put like the pin curls or sit on the dry with the rollers. And then you go back and you go and press it out like with the flat iron. So it was just so much hair to kind of get it super straight
Mhm.
and to see how long that lasts me. And then in college, like I was able to color my hair and I was so excited, so excited. I was like, can I color? And we started off very little. Peekaboo highlights, red highlights, they were not bright at all. But then it went from that to pink to like blue to I was so excited to color my hair. And I think that's a part of the hair experience. I got great. I was able to get some bangs. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like
Mhm.
the thing though, then with all the color and the things, my texture started to change. I had to start cutting my hair because it was damaged. And I was traveling to get my hair done, like to states like Maryland to get my hair colored because just of trust of people. I didn't have a beautician yet that I was like, okay, I can go to color. So I went to where my sister went. But at that time, it was just really like trying to explore different things, not really knowing what I wanted, but like, this is cool. Oh, cut it long in the front, short in the back. Like, let's experiment with it.
Mhm.
Then I started experimenting with keratins because I really wanted straight hair in the summer. Who wears straight hair in the summer? Obviously, I did. I still wasn't with like wearing my hair curly. I didn't know how to. But then I noticed like the keratins were changing my patterns again. I had no curls. I had no curls. Like to me, my hair was just so ugly because it was thick at the roots and just straight at the bottom. Like it wasn't holding a curl. So I met my hairstylist that I have now, and we've been together for a long time. And with that, she was telling me, we're gonna have to cut it because it's damaged. But like hair education, products, styling, all the science behind hair, because there is a science behind the hair, and she preaches about like there's science in it, like whether it's the chemicals, whether it's the shampoos we use, certain things are bad for your hair. Like she really broke down like why she does what she does, even to like the science of doing someone's hair, like the timing it takes, like how long does it take her to shampoo somebody. Like she has it set up so nicely and will educate her clients on like this is what this is and like this is how you could take care of it. Even if you're like, I have no clue how to do my hair, she will show you like this is the easiest two-strand twist to take care of your hair, like protective style 101, like beginner friendly. So I think that was like the course of my journey of like really trying to figure out going from an adult doing my hair to like me figuring out on my own. And
Mhm.
now I still feel like I'm still learning. Like I get excited to be on TikTok and like, oh, let me look at the curly girls and see what styles are they trying. What can I do that's easy enough because I'm not spending
Yeah.
2 hours trying to create a style. If it's quick, fast, I'm with it. So that's like where my journey is now.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful journey that you named. And like it's such a beautiful journey of growth going from like getting your hair done by, family and then learning how to do your own hair and like learning how to actually take care of your hair and like what are the best products and learning how to maintain healthy curls. So it's just a beautiful kind of like growth journey that you've had with your hair, it sounds like.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
also sounds like too you've been able to kind of like learn a lot about your hair and grow a closer connection to your hair over the years. Because I think what you're describing is such a journey that maybe a lot of Black women can relate to of like
Mm,
in the early stages of our lives, like not really knowing how to like do our hair or take care of our hair into kind of growing more of a closer relationship with our hair and learning about it.
yeah,
And I love how you spoke too about kind of like the beauty of the process of doing your hair and like learning how to, wash it and take care of it and what are the best products, what are the best styles that are protective for our hair, and learning
yeah,
that from your beautician. Actually,
yeah.
I think it's really beautiful that she was able to kind of like that she holds that process as such a beautiful thing and then was able to like bring you into that and like teach you about the different ways to care for your hair. Um,
Absolutely. I think there's a culture being at the hair salon.
mhm.
It's not just like, oh, you come, I mean, yes, you come and you sit, but depending where you are, it's like from my experience, you walk in, it's warm from the welcome. Like people are warm at the welcome. There's music playing that like it's an R&B type of vibe on a Sunday. Like it's nice,
Yeah,
calm and cool, like that neo soul kind of vibe when you're walking in. And it's like it's not just oh let's talk about your hair, but it's like how are you? Like and you guys are having that real connection with each other. That makes the experience so much better because sometimes people go into hair salons and they're super anxious about
yeah,
what am I getting myself into.
yeah.
But I have been enjoying my process. And not, if I have a question, I don't feel ashamed to ask a question. Like I feel welcome to ask the question and supported and getting the answer, and even shown like, okay, this is how you do this. This is how you hold your pin curl at night when it is straight. Like this is how you wrap it properly. Oh, get this flexi wrap. This can like so learning tools and techniques in the chair without feeling shame that I don't know it.
That's really beautiful. And that's such an
Yeah.
important piece too, right? Because I think a lot of times, especially as we get older and we're like still learning different things about our hair, sometimes, it can be really daunting to like step into a salon and like maybe you don't know what to ask for, or you don't know like what's the right
Yes.
thing to look for or how to do your hair, right? So it's good that like we have these salons and these spaces that cultivate community and that feels safe
Mm,
enough for us to kind of just come as you are and like connect
yes.
about something as vulnerable and intimate as hair.
Absolutely.
So I've been thinking a lot about hair autonomy. And so it's a phrase that I've discovered and have been thinking a lot about as it relates to Black women as a whole for the as a collective, and then what does hair autonomy actually mean for each individual person? And so I'm curious for you, what does hair autonomy mean to you as it relates to your journey with your hair?
Yeah. For me, I think hair autonomy really looks at like the choices I decide to make, right? Like how well do I show up for myself and my hair? What I want to do to it. I think like you feel good, you look good, you feel good is like a real thing.
Yeah,
And the how well I like take care and like shampoo my hair or like honestly what just feels good to me. Like some days is I'm just doing enough to get through like a busy week and like washing it, deep condition, put it in two braids. Or I'm like really like want to be in the creative space and try something new because like I just had the time and the energy to do it. Um so being creative, I think, in how I show up for my hair is important because I can't count on anyone else but me.
mhm,
So how do I make the choices that feel right in the moment for my hair, and also just loving the hairstyle and the journey that I'm on. Not all the time is my journey beautiful. Or do I have time to really tend to it? Like I will rock a bun for like 2 weeks because I just don't have it in me. And like being okay with that, right? Giving myself grace in that and knowing like, okay, at some point we're gonna like really dive into like a deep self-care for the hair. So I think when I think about like autonomy, it's like the self-care and choices I make to my hair. That just doesn't compare with other people. Like I'm not trying to like be the biggest hair influencer or like just do too much. Like it's just what's right for me.
yeah, definitely. So I'm hearing two things that stood out. One is like making the right choices for your hair
Yeah.
however that looks, right? Whether it means like cutting off the damage or using a certain shampoo and conditioner or using a certain treatment, washing it, or even, if you're feeling lazy one day and you just want to do a bun or two braids, right? But like making the choice that is good for your hair in that moment, however that looks. I think there's
Yeah.
a really beautiful sense of liberation that we feel in like making those choices for our hair and evaluating what it needs. And also too, what I heard is like, at all of the many of the pieces and the moments in our hair journey are not always beautiful. They're not always glamorous.
Right.
And so I
Mm-hmm.
think that's another really important thing, especially because what I have found, like in society, there's so many pressures about how Black women should show up, and there's so many messages about how our hair should look, and it has to be
Yeah.
done, it has to look a certain way
Yeah.
in public, and everything. And so I think there's a really, really beautiful sense of liberation and autonomy that we feel when we're able to just show up as we are, whether it's beautiful, whether it's a lazy day, whether we're just not feeling our hair that day, and we just like fuck it, I don't care, But there's
Yeah.
beauty in like showing up and just kind of like letting your hair be in whatever state it is in that day.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like, and then to your point of showing up in the professional spaces where sometimes you have to cut off your hair or you cannot have color or because it's unprofessional to people. And in those moments, picking yourself and saying, no, thank you. Like this doesn't like I don't want to be in this space with you because that like takes away from who I am. And that's a risk. That is a huge risk to say no. Because people, if we're talking about work, people need a job and finding jobs in the market today is not easy. So to pick you and say no and continue to be who you are through your hair is super important. And it's super empowering.
Yeah.
To continue to do and show up. To put on a scarf and say, I'm gonna use this and be a fashion statement today. Absolutely. Because you just couldn't today, but absolutely. So yeah, there is a choice. And I think that's the most powerful thing is the choices we make. And hopefully we're making it for ourselves versus other people, or unfortunately due to circumstances. Because I don't want to take away like some circumstances we have to do because of
Yeah.
situations we're in or the time. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think I love what you said too. I like that you use the word risk because I do think it is such a big risk. And we also have to think about too, like, what are the messages that we're internalizing or that we're receiving when
Hmm.
we see people getting fired for how their hair looks or like getting sent home for having certain hairstyles or being told they have to cut their hair or change their hair color
Yeah.
in these professional spaces. And I think it takes away from a lot of freedom of expression, and it
Hmm.
also sends a message that like our hair is not acceptable in these spaces or like our natural hair is
Yeah.
not okay in these professional spaces. And I think that's a whole nother,
Yeah.
that I think is a really big issue. But it is a risk and it's a power statement to kind of just show up with your hair in its natural state or wearing a scarf over it if it's not a good hair day. However you're choosing to show up that day, it is a risk and it's also,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and what just came to mind too actually was thinking the thought of like back in the days where people saying like long hair was beautiful, then like long straight hair was better than like, oh, your kinky hair, right? So like even that like hair made beauty, if that makes sense, like to people. Um so taking the risk to say, you know what? Look, I'm gonna show up natural, my fro, and to make that statement so powerful, it makes me also think about like Tyra Banks, the next top model, when she was making people cut their hair off and like color their hair. I mean, Tyra Banks is also a whole different discussion
Yeah.
and her documentary. But there were moments where she was making people like cut their hair, color their hair, put
Yeah.
it like, and that was a huge part of like the modeling industry thing. Look, true. Eva just cut all her locks off and went back to like very short, like a Caesar cut and colored it blonde.
Mhm.
People like were like, it made a statement to people. So I don't know. There's so much in like taking a risk. It could be to keep a job or not, or it's a risk in like what do people think about me, or I don't care what people think
Right.
about me, and like
Yeah.
I'm just showing up as me. Like there's it could go both ways.
Risk. And I think about that too. I feel like Black women, we are the only, to me, it feels like we are the only ones that have this like that have to deal with this like risk-taking factor associated
Mm,
like with how we present, like especially when
yeah.
it comes to like hair and beauty and makeup and aesthetics and stuff. It's like there's so much pressure that is put on us to like look a certain way, and there's like when we're like deciding whether or not or how we want to show up, there's so many like things we have to consider, and I think that's what makes it so risky. It's like, oh, if I
Yeah.
do this, am I going to lose my job? Or if I do this, am I going to, is somebody going to say something? Or
Yeah.
it's not even just about the big risk, like, oh, am I going to lose my job? Sometimes it's even just about like, oh, are people going to say something? Am I going to get
Yeah.
comments? Are people going to like try to make,
Yep.
comments on it and stuff like that? It's
Yeah.
like the pressure is like so heavy. And
Yeah.
it's something that I hate that we have to carry so much of, because especially when we just want to be able to like express ourselves and just kind of like show up how we want
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
some of the stuff we have to think about. And it's like, it could just feel like a lot, honestly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
And so I guess one question for you. So one thing that I've also been thinking about too is like hair as it relates to sense of self-worth and self-confidence. And so I'm curious for you, is there any particular hairstyle or way that you like to wear your hair that makes you feel the most confident?
I have a few, and I think it's really on the season. Um, so I really love a good color. Like I love that's color makes me excited. I love color. I really would love to go like a ginger, but
Oh,
I'm
that
not gonna
would
do
be
it.
nice.
Oh, I really want to go a ginger so bad, but like I don't have the time to keep up with the ginger right now. So we talk
Yeah.
about damage and like I know what my capacity is right now. So, but I do love it. I would love a good ginger, but I do love like the blondes and the browns. Like that's my thing. When I get a fresh blonde brown color, whether it's straight, curly, it's just like everything. I also look tan with it, so it's very much like my color. But in the summers is when the summer season washing curly is my way to go. I'm not a person who likes volume, as you can see right away. It will start to come, and I'm like a natural volume person. Like let it come. I think it lasts longer. But curly hairstyles, that get big. I'm a box braid, like braid girly too. Like it's something about like a knotless boho that's like real cute summer look. Like it's really cute. I love a box braids style. And then I would say my silk press for the winter with some curls. Like silk straight is another look. Like that's a real bad look. And then when you add curls, it's a different. And then the wind, like it's it's like four different people. Like, and that's the one thing I love to be like black with versatility. Like in my hair, like they people really are like, wait, who is this? Because they can't tell from the back who am I? Because I change my hair so often, up style, down style, curl. Like it actually brings me like joy to like change my hair so much. Because everybody can't do it. So I truly like those are like my go-to styles.
Mm.
Um, so now
Yeah.
everybody can tell who I am now that they know which style I like.
I know
You
how
know
you
what Sid
sound,
said?
your
And
signature
even
style.
like think about all the products too, like a silk beanie with the in silk like satin.
Yeah, yeah.
Love those. Like yeah. So we're in the curly season right now. So I'm waiting for my hair to like volumize, if
Hmm.
that's a word. But yeah.
I love that though, like because I feel like one, there's so much beauty in the versatility and being able to like switch our hair up and just kind of like do whatever we want. And also two, I think there's something very relatable about like having different hairstyles for different seasons and times of the year. Because I can totally relate to that. Like in the winter when it's cold, I would wear my hair straight, and then in the summer I would have braids because it would just kind of like help as a protective style. And so
Yeah.
I love that we can like, associate our different hairstyles with different times of the year. And not just for like, expressive purposes, that too, but also just like for protection purposes, for like for the
Yeah.
health of our hair,
Yeah.
which I
Also
think,
like the time of the year. I just sometimes it's just so busy that like give me
yeah,
some box braids. I have to like the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks are really crazy. Like I just need a style that will make life easier. Like I think that's a part of it for me. Some days I'm like, I need to like doing my hair takes me too long in the morning. I need something I can wake up, take out of a bonnet and like go. Like get my
yeah,
like 15 minutes back. So that's another thing about style sometimes. Like back to pressure. Back to the pressure sometimes. It just adds pressure in the morning, like to wake up and making sure my edges are like gel. Like my hair is like laid gel down so that midday I'm not like poofed and it's rising because my edges are so curly that they will rise if it's not
yeah,
like gel down to the max. So
yeah.
like to be like in the mirror all day, like, oh my God, this edge is like coming up. What am I gonna do? You
Mhm.
know, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sometimes I gotta go to my little black girls and be like, I know you got some gel in your bag.
You're
What you
not
and they be like, yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah, come on, come on. I'm like, can I just get a little? And yeah, you got some exact. I knew I could count on you because I
Yeah,
know you got edge control in your bag that will get me through the next 5 hours. Like that's the other stress of it. It's time consuming in the morning and like the pressure of just making sure it lasts through the
yeah.
day sometimes.
Yeah, it definitely, yeah, that definitely is a lot to you, especially like when it's getting like too hot and there's like, frizz and the hair is like, yeah, I relate to that a lot. I relate to that a lot. Um, and so I guess before we wrap up today, I just have one more question for you. So you mentioned, how you work with kids. And so I'm curious for you, like if you had to send a message to the younger generations, the younger generation of Black girls,
Yeah.
learning to love their natural hair, that are learning how to do their hair, or just learning how to navigate their hair in general,
Yeah.
what is a message that you would leave for them?
That's a great question. I would say be patient with the process. Working with youth, like, and again, back to our own stories, like that middle age, you're learning like independency, you're learning your autonomy, you're trying to figure out like what's right, what's wrong. Like, hair is a thing, right? And then parents are giving more freedom to make choices. And in that, if they're not taught how to take care of their hair from young, they're now experimenting in middle schoolish age, like that teenage age, which is could be okay to experiment and also could be very hurtful and damaging depending the result, right? So I see a lot of kids, if their hair is not done, they're very insecure. If they will come in with like a bonnet or a scarf and like, I'm not taking this off because it's not done underneath. although they tried, it gets frustrated for them because they're like, this style isn't working for me, but it's kind of like working for someone else. So like being patient with the process, and figuring out what works for you. Also ask an adult, like be don't try to color your hair on your own. I see so many kids in the age, they're coloring their hairs on their own. Like, and I'd be like, yeah, that look cute. And don't color it again for some time because I know they will go back and recolor again, which could be damaging to the hair. I'm not a beautician, but like I know too much color, too much process, too much bleach, you're gonna have a bald spot. Like, and I don't want that for you. So be patient with the process. It is a process. Ask the questions to an adult. Will be like my advice for them. Be curious. Like, please be curious about like how to take care of your hair, how to style it. Um, but also just be patient with like the process.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I love the advice of just like being patient because there's like there's so much that goes into like learning about your hair. And also too, one thing that I know I had to realize when I was learning how to do my hair was that everybody's hair is different. Like one
Right.
product that I use may not work well for your hair, and one thing you
Right.
might not work well for my hair. And so like we really have to like learn what works for your hair, the products,
Right.
styles, everything. And so I think that's really good advice of just like being patient and learning. Also trial and error. Like you
Yeah.
can try something and your hair might hate it. You might try something, your hair might love it, but you just kind of have to like
Yeah.
learn as you go. And
Right.
also I like the advice of being curious too. Like um, one thing that I always kind of like encourage younger girls to do is like try different stuff with your hair. Like go through the eras and the changes of your hair. Like if you feel like you want to wear braids one day and then maybe like the
Hmm.
next summer you want to like dye it or something like that, do it safely.
Yeah.
But I encourage you to
Right.
play with that freedom of expression. If you want to cut it all off the next year, like do that too. But like I
Okay.
feel like changing our hair and like being experimentative and curious with our hair allows for a deeper understanding of ourselves, which I think is
Yeah.
a thing. And so I love that. I love both of those advice of being patient and being curious.
Yeah. Because Lord knows I learned.
Yeah, like
And
you learn a lot about yourself.
yeah, and still learning. I don't think the
Mhm.
process ever stops because your hair evolves. Like as you get older, you get gray hairs. Like now you're adjusting to like the aging of the hair and like what does that look like and like how much time and effort you have because as you get older, you may not want to deal with it as much and you may just be like, you know what, I'm cutting it and going short and like I want to wash it and going every day. Like that's
Yep,
cool with me, you know. So like also that. So just knowing that the process will change as you get older too.
for
So
sure. For sure, definitely. Well, thank you so much for the beautiful advice. Thank you for joining me here and just kind of telling your hair story. I
of
know
course.
hair is something that is such an intimate and vulnerable topic for a lot of Black women. So
Yeah.
share your willingness to like come and share that and kind of just talk us through your hair story. I think it's very relatable for a lot of people.
No, thank you for having me. I'm glad that I was able to come on here and talk. I think, and I can't wait actually to see you create this space for more people because there's a lot of stories out there that need to be told, and spaces where and communities that could be built and people could feel not alone in their this journey, because it's so deep for many, and everybody's experience is so different and everybody, you know, it's a space where healing can come from. So I'm excited to see like this journey continue for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. The video will be posted to all my socials and I'll be sure to tag you and everyone be sure to keep up with Tabitha. She posts a lot about her journey as a doctoral student and also about her work with kids as a social worker. So be sure to keep up
Yeah.
with her and I'll put all of your socials too in the description and tagged everywhere for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye everyone.
Yeah.